And
Justin's gonna ask about alcohol next. Watch. I know.
no. And the big boy, the one that everyone talking about. I've had players come to me on the Futures Tour, Challenger Tour. We've heard the big tour talking about it as well. Adderall. Is it the limitless pill? Is it this cure for everything? And is there and what are the, I guess, the benefits and again the downsides to the limitless pill that is Adderall?
So Adderall's complicated. Like it's really one that you have to take it very personal because obviously it's designed for a specific purpose. And many players would qualify under the, first off, in tennis at the highest levels, it is banned without a prescription. So you need for in competition, you need a therapeutic use exemption for a prescription for Adderall. So that means it needs to be prescribed by a doctor, and that prescription needs to fit a few criteria. The athlete needs it based on the doctor's evaluation. They've tried other strategies that doesn't require medication first to deal with. It's usually prescribed for attention deficit hyperactive disorder, ADHD. So many people do have that. So it's not something where players don't have that. They actually would qualify, but it's very much a personal decision. So you need to work with a professional to define if that's necessary or needed. Obviously, in a lot of sports, people may be taking it when they don't really qualify and they're taking it purely for a performance benefit. But there's a lot of negatives to it. Obviously, it helps with focus. It allows people to concentrate usually better, which for tennis would be a valuable addition. The challenge is it usually offsets other things, and many players that have tried it have gone off it after a period of time because they haven't felt comfortable on it. They felt maybe better in one area, but they felt worse in other areas. So it's very much a personal discussion. It's very difficult to say people should or shouldn't do it. It's very much, you got to get evaluated by an expert. You've got to understand where it could help you, which it definitely could for many players, but it also could put you in environments that you don't want to be in from how you feel and things like that. And there's players that obviously will try anything if they think it's going to give them a performance edge. You see it in other sports. College football, it's utilized a lot many times because they need to memorize plays, they need to do all of that type of stuff. But again, it's got a lot of risk to it. It's not something that is just good without any negatives. So that's where we have these discussions broadly. It's always challenging. I always say you got to work with a professional who's an expert in sport as well, because the negatives of any type of ADHD medication is on how it can impact other aspects. What happens when your heart rate's going through the roof? Many of these players that do it, their heart rate does change as a result. And sometimes they have issues with anxiety and other things as a result. So you have to make sure you've got someone who's very much able to understand that and deal with that. So it's not a simple answer.
Yeah, I've heard guys tell me that they were playing unreal tennis, but they couldn't sleep. They had no sex drive, and their personality changed. Like they would be in the locker room, people would be talking to them, and they would be spaced out. But when they went on the court, they could really play tennis. But everything else kind of got a little weird for them in their life. So it's not quite as. I mean, I guess it's beneficial in that way, but it's not quite as magical as people might make it seem when they talk about it so loosely.
No, it's definitely not without its risk. There's no doubt about it. So it's one of those ones where you should never listen to anyone online give recommendations on prescription medications. That's usually my take on this stuff. So if anyone's listening to this and they're making a decision on it based on what we say online, that's a bad idea.
I made a joke. People need a certain UTR to comment on people who are professional tennis players, tactics, whatever. So you're saying, talk to somebody who has a PhD or like someone who's an actual doctor before you make these decisions. Don't
typically
just
a sports psychiatrist is who you want to work with. You want to work with someone who works in sports and typically is an MD that works with ADHD patients and understands both aspects. They just work with ADHD patients. they're going to probably not understand the physical demands of the environment that sports puts on them, which is a whole different discussion.
Thanks for watching this clip. If you want to watch the full episode, the link is in the description down below.